Hi, today on Pens Pastures, we're going to be talking about getting our pastures and our fences ready. And this is probably going to be a 2 or 3 part video. One will come next week and the week after because there's just so much to do. But I want to show you what we have here, and maybe you can adjust what we do to fit what you need. All right, one of the most important things about grazing pasture is access to fresh water. So we use something that I already had at my house, a black plastic pond. And it's one of the things people put in their ground and landscape around it. We use it with a hose, and this hose is attached all the way back at my house, well over 150 yards. And when I want to give them fresh water, I turn it on at the house. It's going to be like pieces of a pie. We're going to have a slice here, or we will have a slice here, or we're going to have a slice here. They're going to be like wedges. And let me show you exactly how it is that we get our fence together. All right, what I use are these 4-foot long fiberglass garden stakes. They're easy to get in the ground, they're easy to pull out of the ground, they're cheap. I can pick them up and put them in different places depending on how things are looking as the summer goes on. So I pound them in. It's okay that it's leaning, it's not that big of a deal. And today I'm going to show you these insulators. These also are very cheap. This insulator goes right over top of mine. This screws on like this, nice and tight. And my poly tape electric fence snaps right in there. Brooke and I are back after about a week. It's been a week since we started in the back pasture here. And there's a couple other things that I just wanted to introduce you to. In the first episode, we talked about hayseed. In the second episode, we talked about electric fence and insulators that screw directly into trees in the area that I feed the horses in. And we've been talking about now using the electric fence and the garden stakes in our pasture. So I did want to take a moment to show you some of the different types of electric fence that we have. In the feed area, in episode 2, I showed you the electric tape that we use. It's also called poly tape. We have 2 different kinds of poly rope that we use. We use this thick poly rope, and we also use this very skinny poly rope that I have ribbons attached to so the horses have a sight line. Although I should really use a ribbon that's like pink or bright orange, but any combination works. You can see, Brooke, if you show them over there, that's our white electric tape that we have tied to this thin poly rope. And the thin poly rope, I can tie to the thicker rope. As long as the ropes touch, it will work because there are little wires running through all of it. But I am going to show you a hack. I don't want to take my scissors and cut into this enormous length of rope that I have. This is my least favorite kind of electric fence. But the rope up here, remember that we talked about the section of pies. The rope up here, I am coming up, I don't know how many feet short. So I'm going to do one of the hacks that I do. I'm going to use something that I've got around here and see if it works. All right, what is one thing that everybody has that owns livestock, and that is a ton of baling twine. So I'm going to take a length of baling twine. I've tied several of them together. I'm going to pull it tight. And I'm going to tie it. I'm going to tie it to, as a matter of fact, I'm not going to tie it. I'm going to clip it into this insulator so it's nice and tight. Let's see if this works. My insulator is, all right, it's pulling. Okay, that is not gonna work. See how you just gotta see what works and see what doesn't work. So I have taken the baling twine that I have and I have tied it to my insulator here. there's got a lot of slack in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, I'm going to twist it around here, take up the slack, pound this in a little bit more. Now, this obviously will not be electric, okay? It won't ground this either because it's not actually touching the ground. It's only touching plastic and fiberglass. And my hope is that the horses will just see it and see it as a barrier they're not supposed to go through, because everything else will be electrified. This little tiny bit of twine is not gonna clue them in that they can make their way between these pastures without getting shocked. All right, now follow me and I'm gonna show you. So this is the insulator, just to go back what we've done. We have talked about these insulators that we use with the tape that we screw directly into posts and trees. We have talked about these insulators that we use with tape or rope that we screw onto our garden stakes. We have discussed using a pool noodle and zip ties as an insulator. And the last kind of insulator that we use, whatever company makes these, I'll have to find out for you. They would probably love to know that I use this product for this purpose. These are actually made to bundle up, you know, cables in your home, wires, whatever. So what I do is, I was looking for a cheap option for an insulator. I take this, I put my rope inside this. You remember, I also told you that we use a lot of zip ties here. I take my zip tie, I thread it through. I pull it extremely tight all the way. And then I take another zip tie. Sometimes I use two. And I zip tie it very tight to my garden stake. Tight, tight. The rope runs right through. Now there's slack in this rope now, as you see, because I'm not done. I've got a whole line of posts to take care of. But when I'm done, this fence, this rope, will be nice and tight enough for the horse to keep the horses in that part. And now, one last word about our pasture fencing. Now we're down at the far corner. So if you want to take a look around, Petra will show you how we've been working here. This is the far corner. And what I do with corners usually is, this is called a T-post. And it just gives a little bit of sturdiness to the fence, because the garden stakes are flimsy. There's no doubt they're flimsy, they do the job, but something sturdy in the corner does it best. These, you see these bumps here? This is what, if you're using a high tensile wire, it's called, that is what these things rest on. We don't use that for our purposes, so, but I still make these face the outside generally, so. This is a spring-loaded post pounder. I really can't remember what it's actually called. They're heavy, but they get the job done. So Brooke, you're gonna hold it upright. Well, I'm gonna slip this on over. I give it 10 good pounds. Watch your hands, sir. Watch your hands. Ready? Bring it in. Yep. All right, Petra, you want to take a shot at it? Good job. That's it. That's it. You got a few good licks in there. We're in the ground pretty good, but we can go just a little bit further. So I'm going to do it from this angle now. I'm going to get a little bit up. Ready? I'll do it from this angle. That's good enough. Watch how short this post is when I take this off. Oh, looks like up to here, resident. Okay, last insulator. I only use with these ones. There's nothing to screw, there's nothing to zip tie. I can never get these on all the way. What I do is good enough. This really is supposed to clip on all the way. Take that. Take my trusty poly tape. I go in through the bottom. Look at this. This insulator is pretty neat because you can put the rope through here if you're using rope, and you can put the tape through here if you're using the tape, and that's what we're using. So we're going to do that. Boop. And now look at this. If you take a look around, this really holds it in place nice. And I really should have one of these on every single corner. I don't. I think I have maybe 2 of the corners, but there we go. All right, get in here, Brooke. This is officially, all right, this is officially goodbye.